Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is video number 3 in our series, and this is going to be one for stripping silence. On tracks, there's a whole bunch of information that is not necessarily usable. It's not useful for the project, and sometimes you won't even notice it because it's not very loud and everything else is. However, that information that is there, that all the excess noise and whatever else, does clutter up your mix. So stripping silences is important. Another thing that some producers do is they get rid of all the breaths as well. I prefer to have some breaths in my tracks to make it sound more natural, but sometimes there's extra noise that you want to get rid of. So just listen to this with everything else playing. Sorry. Laughing. Sounds pretty good, right? If I solo this track, then you're going to hear the extra noise.
Phillips.
That's all stuff that is going to be cluttering up the mix that you don't want to have. So this is the first thing that that comes in on this track. So I can cut this stuff out. So if you remember from our last video, our editing video, I showed you how to use the knife tool. That's what you're going to do here. So here's where his breath starts. As a matter of fact, this is probably the best part of the breath right here.
Laughing.
So I'm going to get rid of everything in front of this. Once again, 3 gives me my knife tool. I make my cut. I go back to the pointer, select this, delete it. And then here's another thing. If you don't want it to be so jarring when it comes in, throw in a little bit of a fade.
Laughing Phillips.
So that cleans that up. Now, you can get really hectic and hairy. You can clean up like little sections like this. But once again, I think the breaths make it sound natural. So I just go through. This might be a good spot to get rid of. That would be a great spot to get rid of. So if I select, I'm going to do my marquee tool since I'm in the middle of this stuff now. Select that, hit delete, and then go back to my pointer, select this region, give it a little bit of fade, select this region, give it a little bit of fade. If you want to make sure you didn't fade out too much or too little, drag this out so you can hear it, and then go.
Laugh dark.
So, I perhaps didn't show you this. This right here is how you set a loop. You just drag this out for as long as you want across this top bar. But in PreSonus, you got to turn this loop section on. So once you turn that on,
After
then it'll
dark.
keep looping this section. So when it gets over here,
Laughing Phillips. After dark.
and I don't think he actually put that K there. It won't make much difference in the final mix. So you go through. This might be a good section. Yep. So now let me show you this. I've got my pointer tool selected. That's the marquee. If I hold down Command, it gives me my, they call it a range tool. So I go like that, and then I can be back on my pointer tool for doing my fade outs. And then that might be a little aggressive on the fade out. I might have to fix that.
Laughing Phillips.
It's not bad, actually. All right, so you can go through and do that for the entire track. Do that for all the vocal tracks. It's also good to do for say electric guitar, right? Like right in here. Let's solo this instead. And okay, so right now it wasn't really recording, but let's find later on in the track. It's pretty clean. This is too short to worry about, right? And that's actually where you got some reverb going. So you don't want to get rid of that. But if there was some amp idle, I don't think there is any. Yeah, there's not really any amp idle. So if that's the first place that this comes in, though, you can get rid of that real easy. Come over here where it comes in. Start there. Grab the knife tool, cut it, pointer, select, delete, fade, done. So you'll want to do that for all your tracks except the drum tracks. You never want to strip silence out of drum tracks. If you do, you cut a lot of the ambient noise that all the different mics pick up that make the drum set sound complete. So only strip other instrument parts, and don't strip out anything that you're going to use, something that's going to be still like a bass that the string is still ringing or something. Leave that there. But if you've got just amp idling, where the player's holding the strings, they're just waiting to come in, and it's got this of amp idle, cut that stuff out because it's eating up space in your mix for other good sounds. That's stripping silences. That's your step 3.